Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. We've got some new goodies and some new baddies. We got a couple big L's that I've taken recently. We're going to talk about these in kind of, I guess, alternating order, I guess. Anyway, first thing up is a Con 78H Special. Yeah, I have two of these. I don't feel like there's that many Con 78H Specials out there because they pretty quickly came out with the 79H, which is the same thing. It just has its own model name. They did this with the 8H Special as well. That became the 88H that we all know today. They're just like, why would we make this its own special order model when we can just make it its own model? This one kind of doesn't make sense because it's at least it's marked as 78H on the slide, but it has an earlier serial number or a later serial number that would make sense for a 78H special. It should be a 79H. This is from the 60s. So who knows? It could be a 78H slide with a 79H bell section. Doesn't really matter. It's the same instrument. Um, and I have not played it, but I'm sure it's cool. I have a friend actually borrowing my other 78H special who enjoys it a lot. So we'll see what happens with this. I just think they're neat. I really like my other one. We'll see about this one. Um, First big L, I guess we'll talk about this first, is I bought a 3BF for like an okay price. Not super cheap, not super expensive. It looked really good. The guy was like, yeah, it needs slide work, a couple other things. But otherwise, it looked like it was in very good shape. Like, lacquer is very good. No giant dings, no like major issues in pictures. And this is the slide. The slide lock is now off. I should also preface that this is after it got worked on. This slide is trashed, like straight up 100%. Uh, the usable parts off of this slide are I guess, the receiver, cork barrels, maybe the slide lock, and that is it. All the tubes are completely trashed. The crook is not in awful shape, but like not really worth saving. I guess the spit valve is okay. The slide is like 100% not a usable slide ever. The problem with nickel, of course, these have nickel outer tubes, is that nickel has pretty serious metal memory. And so if you try to take out like big dents or big damage, the metal goes, no, I'm going back. And there's other issues with nickel as well. And I don't know what happened to this slide or this instrument. The bell section is still at my tech, but like someone must have had this for like a short period of time and just like completely smashed it. You can't see this in pictures, of course. There's no like obvious like big dings like a bell hitting it, but there's like straight up ripples in both of the slide tubes on the outers, and the inners have a ton of damage too. So that sucks. This slide is like just straight up just trash. There's nothing you can do with this. Recycle it for metal maybe. And then the bell section, I'll show this with the 79H. Um, the bell section again looks great. The bell is very good, but the valve section points off this way. So obviously the whole horn had gotten twisted at some point. Maybe at the same time the slide got smashed, and it looked simple enough, just kind of bend it all back. And so we did that, and then the valve didn't work because all the valve lever geometry was completely wrong. And so more work has to be done. We'll see if that's salvageable. The bell and tuning slide are definitely like not total losses, so maybe I can make those into something else. But a bummer. I don't take L's like that very often. Usually when I buy, like, just for example, my other 3BF, that one was sold as parts. Like the guy was like, "Oh, this thing's trashed. It's useless," and it was like $200, like super cheap. And I was like, well, the parts are probably worth $200. So I bought it. It was in bad shape. The slide is really bad. I took it to one of my techs, and it was one of my best slides of all time. It was such good action. And then the bell section itself like looks really ugly, but it's fine. Like I've used it for years. So that was a W. I took a W on that one. It was very cheap, put very little money into it, and I've used the crap out of it for years. This one was more expensive, looked better, and is like completely useless. So I don't always win. Let's talk about the mouthpiece you just saw. This is a Doug Elliott F cup. I've had an F plus in the past, and an E cup. I've had like almost every size: C plus, D, E, F, F plus, G, G plus. I've had like every gradation, and this is the F. I think this will be really good on medium bore. I have some mouthpieces. We saw this recently where I got some mouthpieces cut. I have a 5GS and a Shilky 51 that are in small shank. I'm very excited to use those, but I have been looking for a Doug Elliott equivalent because I have a D cup that's too shallow. It's just kind of gross. F is very interesting. I'm interested to try this. So I got the mouthpiece, but I also got two rims. Obviously, on Doug Elliott mouthpieces, use Doug Elliott rims. This has actually not the rim I would use on it. They come on and off. Usually made out of brass that's silver plated like that. I also have a Lexan one that I don't really enjoy, but it's the same size. That's kind of nice. I got these, which are made by Hauser. They are Parker rims. Parker Hauser rims. This one is the same size as the 104 Doug Elliott stuff I use. But what's interesting is that it is a shallower depth. You can see how much room there is at the gold to the silver. Here's a normal Doug Elliott rim, and you can see the rim is a little bit taller. So that literally makes the cup deeper. And then I also got this one, which is a stainless steel that is substantially deeper even than a normal Doug Elliott. So I have like different ways to make my mouthpieces deeper and shallower using the rims, which honestly I've never thought about. Obviously that is possible, but I've never thought about it. The Doug Elliott stuff is great. I just saw these and I was like, that's the size I use, and I think that's really interesting. Also, different materials. This is stainless steel, and this is titanium H coat. I don't know what that means. It's something I can't remember if the rim itself is made out of H coat or if this is a like a plating or a coating. I think it's a plating or a coating. I don't remember, but it looks cool. I used to be able to get mouthpieces entirely coated in this. I think it's stainless steel as well. Just interested to try this. And on this mouthpiece, maybe it's great. I don't know. I also got, this is a very minor thing, but Shires bell mounting hardware that goes that way. So if I get a Shires valve section, I can put different bells on it. I don't know. I think that's neat. I do have some Bach bells, and I might have some extra Bach 50 bells. This is for bass. So maybe I'll sell a Bach bell with Shires fittings. I don't know. That was cheap, so I decided to get it. Oh, before I forget, which I obviously did, that 79H or 78H special came in this case, the original 60s case, with this sticker on it, which I think is very, very cool. Someone went to the Rose Bowl in 1971, 1972, over the 2 years, obviously, because it's at the end of 1971. And that was Jeffrey E. Neville. This was his horn. I think it's really cool. University of Michigan Marching Band. I don't think this was the university's instrument. I think it was Jeffrey's instrument, and they got those stickers. And he flew with this, I assume, 1971, or they took a bus. I don't know. That's pretty cool. A little bit of history on the case there. What should I talk about next? Oh, this is dumb, but I bought another Bach 50 tuning slide. And with the Bach 50 tuning slides that I have, which came from a Bach 50 T3 GL that is now in pieces, and as some parts of it have been sent off to get worked on, 50 kg, which I torched apart, and now I just have the bell. And then I bought a tuning slide by itself. And you can see the different lengths that Bach cuts their tuning slides from the factory. I have not modified any of these. But you can see the lower, or sorry, upper legs, lower legs, these are the lower legs, are totally different lengths. And I don't know if I have these lined up. There we go. those are also totally different lengths. So even from the factory, Bach knows that some instruments, well, a little long, a little short. The longest one is probably the original length. This is the one that I bought. Probably came with a regular 50B. And then the shorter two are going to be from the KG and the 50T3. I don't know which one is which. I think that's interesting. I can make some more box out of those, which is always cool. We went over those mouthpieces. I went over this. I got, and I showed this in my mouthpiece video that I just made. Lasky 105C. This is the contrabass trombone mouthpiece that Shires slash Lasky is making. Eastman, whatever you want to call them. I played this very shortly when I tried the Shires Q. I did not play it in the video, and I really liked it. I thought it worked really well on the Shires Q, and this is probably the only one that is owned by someone who doesn't own one of those because they don't sell this mouthpiece. I bought it from someone who just bought a Shires Q and he didn't like the mouthpiece. So first used one, and perhaps the first person who doesn't own a Shires Q who owns this mouthpiece. Very interested to try this out on my instrument at some point. It's little thin in the rim. It's a big boy. It's very deep, very big. But at first blush, it did seem actually pretty efficient. Yeah. Okay, I got this. Here's a Shires that I just put together. Yep, another Shires. Can't stop doing it. We've got the B6278 yellow crook, so not the usual nickel crook. Slide, so dual bore. We got axials that I just showed in my cleaning axials video. We've got a B tuning side, which is the smaller of the two options. There's B and C. And the piece de resistance, a basically brand new B27Y LW bell, lightweight bell. This is like, it's the bell. I'm pretty sure this is what Brian Hecht was using before he moved over to Tyne. Obviously, he had a gold bell as well. This should be a killer horn, and you might be wondering why I keep talking about not playing these instruments. That's because I can't play right now. I have a medical issue that basically prevents me from playing at all for about 2 months. I'll be back probably early June, kind of late May. I'll start playing again, getting back into it, and I plan on documenting that as I get back into playing. But I have not played since the day after Easter. I did a nice heavy practice session that day, and then nothing. I've not played a note. And that's my other L, my other big L. You know, I got this 3B that is trash, and also I can't play trombone, which is a big bummer because I keep getting cool stuff like this, cool stuff like these mouthpieces, and I can't do anything with them, which is not fun. I'm fine. I'm not like in mortal danger or anything, but I can't play. And it's funny because I think I actually just sold this bass and I'll never have the chance to play it. I don't think it's going to be like a big surprise, but it would have been nice to put some time in on the Shires before it goes off. So those are my big W's, big L's, couple big L's in there. I will be back playing it again. I want to document my journey back into playing. It's interesting. I'll talk about this really quickly right now. I was getting to a really good spot before I stopped, and I feel like I've internalized a lot of that really good stuff about my playing, and I can kind of shove some of the junk that was holding me back out because I'm just not doing it for 2 months. The last break I took like this, and again, I'll talk about this in a future video, is when I bit almost through my bottom lip, below the lip part, but down here. I bit almost all the way through that in 2014 and took 6 weeks off of the instrument. There's probably videos from about that time where I talk about it. So this is my longest break since then until like, when I was like 16 or something. And so it'll be very interesting coming back to the instrument fresh-ish. We'll see how that goes. Very interested. Anyway, cool stuff. Some W's, some big L's, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.